All right, if you're a project manager apprentice, you've definitely seen this one staring back at you from your list of requirements. K8, all about project life cycles. Now, I know it can feel a bit, well, theoretical and confusing, but we're gonna fix that today. Let's jump right in and make K8 your new superpower.
So let me introduce you to Jody. She's a super smart, really ambitious level 4 apprentice over at IBIS Stores. But there's this one specific knowledge area that has her totally and completely stuck. I have a feeling you might know exactly how she feels.
And this is it, isn't it? This is the heart of the problem. It's not just about memorizing some definitions from a textbook, it's about proving you actually get it and can apply it in the real world. Jody's frustration is so real, and it's the exact challenge we're going to tackle together right now.
So, Jody decides she can't do it alone. She needs some help. She grabs a coffee with her mentor, Adam, because she knows she needs to go back to square one and really understand what K8 is all about from the ground up.
Adam kicks things off with the official definition, but he says, look, don't let the formal language scare you. All K8 is really about is understanding the different roadmaps a project can follow from start to finish. You can think of it like the project's operating system. It sets the rules for how you plan, how you deliver, and how you manage, well, everything.
Adam then breaks it down with this simple chart. You've got 3 main flavors. First, there's linear, or predictive. That's like following a detailed map, step by step, no detours. Then you have iterative, or adaptive, which is more like exploring. You deliver in small chunks or cycles, and you learn as you go. And hybrid? Well, that's just a clever mix of both.
Okay, so Jody is getting the general idea, but it all still feels a bit, abstract. So Adam, being a great mentor, decides to use a simple analogy to really make it stick. He says, Jody, forget projects for a second. Let's think about this like you're in a kitchen.
First, Adam says, imagine you're baking a classic wedding cake. You have to agree on the exact recipe and all the ingredients right at the start. That's your fixed scope. You follow the recipe steps in a perfect, rigid order. And you can't just decide to add chili powder halfway through, right? Any change would be a huge deal. That's the linear approach. It's perfect for projects where everything is known up front, like building a new store. Totally predictable.
Now, he goes on, let's think about creating a totally new soup from scratch. You would start with a basic idea, your broth. Then you work in little cycles, what we call sprints. You add some carrots, you taste it. You add some herbs, you taste it again. You're constantly using feedback to improve and evolve the recipe. That's the iterative approach, and it's absolutely perfect for something like improving a website where user feedback is everything.
And finally, Adam says, the hybrid life cycle is like hosting a dinner party. Some things are totally fixed and linear. The date of the party, the guest list, your budget. Those are non-negotiables. But the menu? That's iterative. You might text your guest to ask about allergies or preferences, and you adjust the dishes as you get that feedback. It's this beautiful blend of a predictable structure with a flexible, evolving product.
And just like that, the analogies make everything click for Jody. She finally understands the what. But now she needs the how. How does she actually prove all of this for her portfolio? For that, she sets up a meeting with her apprenticeship coach, Olivia, who is an absolute expert on creating killer evidence for Aptem.
Jody just lays it all out there for Olivia. And honestly, this is the million-dollar question for every single apprentice, isn't it? It's not enough to know this stuff in your head, you have to be able to show it on paper. So, what does good evidence actually look like?
Olivia breaks it down. She explains that assessors want to see your actual project documents. Things like a project plan where you've literally highlighted the linear stages or the iterative sprints, or status reports that are clearly tailored to the life cycle. But she says the most powerful piece of evidence, the real game changer, is a reflective account where you explain why you chose that life cycle. That's what shows you've gone from just knowing to truly understanding.
Then Olivia shows her a fantastic example, a dual reporting status update from a hybrid project. It's so simple but so effective. It has 2 clear sections. One section tracks the fixed, linear stuff with updates against milestones like hardware installed. The other section tracks the iterative work, showing things like user features delivered in cycle 3. An assessor sees this, and bam, they know you get it.
To really complete the picture, Jody has a chat with her line manager, Riddle, who connects all this theory back to the business. Riddle explains that your choice of life cycle has a direct impact on the big 4 constraints of any project: time, cost, quality, and scope. You can see it here. A linear approach gives you predictability on time and cost, but your scope is locked down.
Iterative gives you amazing flexibility on scope, but your budget might need to evolve. Understanding these trade-offs is absolutely critical.
At this point, Jody is feeling pretty good. She's got the theory, she knows what evidence she needs. Now there's just one final hurdle, the endpoint assessment, the EPA. So her coach, Olivia, runs a practice Q&A session with her to get her ready for the kind of questions she's going to face. Olivia fires off a classic opener. This is usually the first question you'll get, and for good reason. It's the foundation for everything else. The assessor isn't just checking if you know the name, they want to see if you can justify your choice based on your project's unique situation, like stable requirements, high uncertainty, or specific industry rules. And Olivia gives her this simple but incredibly powerful formula for her answer. State, justify, link. It's that easy. First, just state the lifecycle you used. Second, justify why it was the right fit for your project's context. And third, link that choice to a positive result, showing how it helps you manage something important, like risk or stakeholder feedback. It's the perfect recipe for a clear, confident answer.
Okay, next up is a deeper question. This one is all about practical application. How did your choice of life cycle actually change the way you did your job every day? The assessor wants to hear the nitty-gritty details about your plans, your reports, and your process for handling changes.
And here's the model for that. Break your answer into 3 chunks, hitting on planning, reporting, and change control directly. And make sure you use the right lingo. Did you use milestones or cycles? Did your reports track variance or outcomes? Was change handled with formal requests or by reprioritizing a backlog? Nailing this shows you know the theory and the practice. And finally, the storytelling question. The assessor wants a real-world example, a mini-story. This is your chance to really shine by connecting all that life cycle theory to a specific moment on your project. My advice? Have a short, clear story prepared for this one before you even walk in the room.
And with that, Jody's journey is complete. That confusing fog around K8 has totally lifted. She gets the concepts, she has a clear shopping list of evidence to gather for Optem, and she's got the structure and the confidence to absolutely nail her EPA questions. She is no longer stuck, she is empowered.
Jody's story just goes to show that mastering K8 is 100% doable. So now, the last question isn't for Jody, it's for you. Take a look at the project you're working on this very minute. Can you name its life cycle? More importantly, can you explain why it was chosen? Answering that question for yourself is your first real step from confusion to clarity. Thanks so much for joining me.